YouTube. It's your girl Pitbull with coffee here. Hey,
Hi.
how are you doing?
I am good. I am great, really.
We had a definitely interesting past couple days. So you guys, we wanted to just go over a little bit of first. We want to go over a different topic than all of our links that we have and all of what we found. And since you guys, some of this stuff is posted so far back, like you guys haven't looked through it. Um, but hold on, let me share this, make sure people in our group knows real
Well,
quick.
yeah, and we need to say that this is about Kyron Horman. It's about our group and um a subgroup that we create.
All right, hold on. Yeah, we've had a different like since Terry Horman has came out. It was bad before, but it's became like a fucking. I feel like I'm in a fucking war zone or something. Like it's insane. But we'll go over that. I want to play you guys a video real quick. Let me share my screen. All right, and I do have to like pause every once in a while because I don't want to get copywritten, you guys. For you guys on Facebook that don't know, that happens. Um, all right. So this is a video about mob mentality, overcoming it. She puts it. She I don't know. She puts this out really well. She's very. I don't know. She just makes it make sense. So
How
if
long
you
is
guys.
the video?
Uh, I don't know because it's on commercial. Hold on.
Wanted to start a business.
It's not long.
You need to sell those.
What's up, you guys? Some of
It's
you
8 minutes.
Well, hello there.
Oops.
Well, hello there.
Dang
I'm
it.
trying to practice.
Look what you
What's
made
up,
me
you
do.
guys? Some of you might.
All right. So you guys, let me know if you can hear this.
The volume was good.
All right. Let me do full screen here.
Remember this. Back in 1986, the world was watching on in anticipation as NASA prepared to launch the Challenger space shuttle. As we all know now, the excitement of that day took a very sharp turn only 73 seconds after the launch, as the shuttle failed on live television, costing 7 people their lives. How could a room full of some of the world's smartest people have gotten it so catastrophically wrong? Today, 30-some years later, the Challenger disaster is thought to have been caused by groupthink. Later investigations revealed that multiple scientists throughout NASA's chain of command knew that there were problems with the launch, but under incredible outside pressure to stick with the plan, go with the flow, keep the higher-ups happy, nobody said anything. Groupthink happens when the expectation for everyone to agree with each other and go along with the group consensus becomes so intense that it squashes our ability to safely express dissent, disagreement, and to have healthy debate with each other. This stuff isn't just lofty intellectual exercises. They're actually critical to making smart decisions together as a group and to forming more accurate beliefs. So how can we identify groupthink when it's happening? First, we need to be able to identify groups. Each of us has many in-groups. These are social groups that are usually formed around things that we have in common with other people. Many in-groups are formed around identities, like political or religious affiliations, race, gender, sexuality, things like that. We also belong to our geographic in-groups, right? Your neighborhood, your city, your state, your country. We have teams and in-groups we're part of at work. We're members of online communities, like this one, or
So let me pause because I don't want to get copyright. Hey, 6 cents. So basically, she's saying the NASA thing happened because everybody, nobody wanted to speak out. They
I
wanted.
didn't know that. I found that very interesting. Like, I did not know that,
I didn't know.
the group of scientists that were working felt so much pressure that they had to give the same let's go opinion. I found that shocking.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. It's insane. Um,
Yeah.
uh,
And now we're getting into how this affects us.
Yeah, and you guys, I'll also be reading something that after this, I'll go over it. But yeah.
Or whatever, researchers have been observing a surge in groupthink in recent years now that more and more people are getting their news and information on the internet. Obviously, strong outside pressure, like what NASA experienced, creates kind of a high-risk situation for groupthink. But another high-risk situation is when an in-group feels threatened by an out-group. Perhaps physically threatened, but more often a threat to the group's values or their way of life or their identities. And when this happens, things can get very out of hand. Violence and all sorts of madness can be justified by the group, especially when they feel that traditional avenues of justice are broken. And that, my dears, is how groupthink can turn into a mob. Here are 6 ways to recognize groupthink in action. One of the key indicators that groupthink is happening is when people start to censor themselves. When people in a group are not free to express disagreements with each other for fear of social retaliation or being stigmatized, losing friends, losing jobs, things like that. In those situations,
I want to stop this real quick. This goes with we've had certain people come into our group that have been coming out under anonymous because they are scared of what this other group will say or do to them. It's really sad,
When we say the word scared, my mind automatically is like, how can we be scared? This is the internet. This is but for these people, they truly, I'm always amazed at the amount of people that we have that speak out anonymously. How is a Facebook group evolved around a missing child? In any way, shape, or form should people be scared? But they are. Like, they don't want their stuff out there. And they know that they'll lose friends and statuses.
It just doesn't make any sense. And I was going to talk about the masks that people wear next, but the ugliness and the lengths that this group will go through, it truly shows. And even the supporters, it's scary that they still stand by this, knowing how scared people are, how how they stalk people, how they could follow you. A lot of people live in the Oregon area where Kyron disappeared, and I guess they just don't want to be found.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was just saying to you, I got a package and it was unexpected. And I have never in my life, I run a very large group for addiction, and never in my life have I come home and found a package at my house and had to think twice about, oh my God, what's going to be in here?
Yeah. Like, that's insane. Like, we shouldn't have to be like, they record Terry and she's walking around and we don't know if she was really checking, but I don't see anything wrong with it. Like, she's checking her tires or, whatever she's doing, because
she's getting in her car, and that is a safety precaution that we all should do. You should always check your car before you enter it.
Yeah.
I mean, does nobody remember the 80s when we had to worry about somebody being in the back seat? That was real.
Hey, Chucky was once in the back seat and he choked somebody. So anything can happen. All right.
Exactly.
Since conformity is not just the comfortable option, it is the survival option. Now, you might be able to think of situations where self-censorship could be a good thing. You don't necessarily need to say every thought that crosses our minds out loud, right? In some situations, the line between self-regulation and self-censorship might not be so clear. And when self-censorship becomes the social norm in a group, it creates an atmosphere that's ripe for manipulation, not even intentionally, by big extroverted personality types or by bullies. Self-censorship also creates the illusion that everyone in the group agrees with each other, when in reality they don't, so the truth goes unsaid. And that's why, although it is very common in groupthink situations, it's not always easy to identify, because how do you know when someone's censoring themselves? Fortunately, there are other red flags to look out for. Rationalizing is another red flag. Rationalizing harassment, rationalizing dehumanizing language or behavior or violence, rationalizing away evidence that contradicts with the group's beliefs. Alternative possibilities are brushed off and aren't meaningfully addressed. Another red flag that isn't always as obvious as it sounds like it should be is ultimatums. If you don't like what we decided here, then you can leave. If you don't go along with this, then people will die, and it'll all be your fault. Could have just.
All right, let me stop there because I've heard that. I haven't heard, or you'll die part. But if you and we have said, like, I know I've said it to people in our group, but that's because they're trolls. Like, there's a difference between a healthy debate. Like, we could go on and talk to people that with different opinions and be perfectly fine. But you go into this group and you ask questions because, like, where is this new evidence coming from? Everybody's going to be curious. And if you're like, that doesn't make sense, because you're not showing us anything, you're kicked out. Dealing with bigoted, racist people who have hive mentality. Yeah, there's definitely. I was called a Nazi Mexican the other day.
I'm sorry, I was talking to my son for a minute.
How can you be called a Mexican, a Mexican Nazi? Like, I have all these screenshots and I have all these messages that I really don't even open because I just don't want to see what they say, but it's coming from that certain group.
For you, I don't know why people. Oh, sorry.
Oh, what?
I don't know why people go after you like they do.
Christine in the group, like, she was responding to that weirdo, and the girl kept going after me. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I just don't understand. Let me tell her we're on. I don't know if she's here. Because she wanted to come. I don't get it. Like, you could call somebody, like, you could say, like, fuck you to somebody, and then they would come back to me and be like, fuck you, like Camila, Lexi. Like, what?
And number 4 is an us versus them mentality. As an in-group becomes more and more uniform in their beliefs and they start weeding out undesirable thoughts and ideas, groups will often start to regard outsiders as bad people. They're morally inferior, they have bad character, bad culture, whatever it may be. Stereotypes about the other flourish. This effectively allows groupthink to insulate.
Just because we see that happen, now, for however they pull this out of their asses, they have made us toothless drug addicts, that everything we do is for drugs. Like, it's definitely, and it's sad. This is 12 years in the making. You were going through that rabbit hole last night and learning just how deep this is.
Because I wasn't here way back then. And last night I was like, let me go far back to like 2000, whenever it started. And what I saw is the same thing I'm seeing now. And I'm going to show that to you guys. We're going to go through that. I know Garnett has to work, but I'm going to go through all of this stuff. And you guys will just see exactly what we're talking about. The focus is not on Kyron, and you can see that in plenty of posts and plenty of comments, even by Desiree. I'm not scared to speak out. I don't hide behind a mask like other people do. I am me. You could say what you want about me, just don't speak on my kids. And they've done that. And that's what really sets me off. We know we're not drug addicts. Like, we didn't sell backpacks. The backpacks that we have pictures at Skyline, we didn't sell those for drugs. Like, I don't know how much drugs that's going to give us. Like, hey, here's a backpack. Can we get a you know, whatever.
Right, right.
Uh,
itself and continue spiraling. Number 5, complacency can also be a bad sign. This happens sometimes when a group starts to accrue some power or has had some success. From the NASA example, we're NASA. We got this. We know what we're doing.
you have anything to say about that?
Just that, I think that the way that group has grown so big is because they do have that powerful source. Desiree has spoken out several times in it, and it gives it some credibility. And because Desiree is such a sympathetic human being, when Desiree speaks, you feel her pain. And as a mother, I feel her pain. But what people miss is that there's so much hatred that's lying just right beneath that pain.
And we will show that to you guys, whether you agree or not. I mean, it's right there in front of your faces. You guys, by the way, I'm smoking some cocaine. Can you smoke cocaine, or is that crack?
I don't know.
When people let their guard down, groupthink might happen, and it might also seem like it's not that big of a deal. And it's not really a big deal, at least until it is. The last red flag I'll talk about is moral talk. Groupthink might be present when a group of people start to rely solely on moral arguments to convince a group. We have to do this because anything else would be morally wrong. In this scenario, the pressure to self-censor just becomes tremendous because now disagreeing makes you a bad person. So it's very tricky and very convincing, especially because sometimes moral talk is needed. Sometimes issues of right and wrong are at hand. So I think it helps to sort of be on your guard and be aware that moral talk can be weaponized. It can be abused and has been throughout history by religious leaders, political leaders, cult leaders. Considering these 6 indicators, it's pretty easy to see why groupthink has historically been especially common in religious and moral conflicts and in high-stakes scenarios like in business or in war. Although, what's the difference? Sometimes just being aware that groupthink is a thing that happens and we do it is enough to kind of pump the brakes. In many situations, simply asking, could we be engaging in groupthink right now, is enough to sort of shake people into self-awareness and to redirect the conversation in a more open way. But beyond that, here are 3 methods that you can use to break up groupthink. One of my favorite methods is called the 6 hats. This method encourages us and our groups to consider a single problem from 6 different perspectives, wearing 6 hats. The logic hat, the emotions hat, the cautious hat, the optimistic hat, the creative, let's get weird and think outside the box hat. And of course, the practical, logistical, is this really feasible hat? A simplified version of this exercise that I've used on creative teams I've been a part of is to invite people to share their devil's advocate ideas and strategies as part of the brainstorming process. It takes the pressure off of people to just go along with it and nod their head in agreement. And I think it encourages creative thinking. Another method, maybe for different situations, is to invite group members to share their feedback and critiques anonymously. This is especially helpful in my experience when there are people in a group who tend to have big personalities that dominate a discussion, or in situations where group members might feel some pressure to save face and not step on toes. Last,
are you taking notes on different things that we can use for the group?
No, but we can remember. I mean, we can go back to this and...
Yeah, because I think I want to take some notes because she has some good ideas on ways that we don't ever become what we're fighting today. I don't ever want to be that group. I want people to speak freely, and if they think that Terry did it, I'm okay with that. But have some... You can't come in and waste 4 hours and not have anything substantial to go with it.
You guys, we went back and forth with this lady for literally days, and the only thing she could come up with was Dr. Phil. And that Terry posted her little medical card since 2009 that says she's deaf. Like, it's her, what is it?
It's the card for her hearing aid.
Yeah. And
when you get devices like a hearing aid, my son had a card for his heart valve. It's sort of like that identifying mark so that they know that this piece goes to this person.
Yeah. And the fact that that woman did not believe her even then. I don't understand.
Hopefully, I have a more preventative approach. I think it's
Huh.
I said it's insane. It's I just can't even believe. Like I said, my heart breaks because it's a missing child. We shouldn't be having these discussions.
We shouldn't, and we have them all the time to try to get people to look. Hey, it's okay to be in here and speak how you feel, but do it like respectively and show us. Besides, oh, Dr. Phil, oh,
Or know when to end the conversation.
it just
Okay, I've said what I've said, and this is what I believe. Okay, we'll agree to disagree. I'm not always going to change my mind. I'm not trying to always change yours. We can agree to disagree.
exactly.
it's really important to cultivate a norm and a tone that invites people to ask questions, that invites disagreement, that invites people to not conform and do their own thing. This comes back to a basic principle that I think we try to teach young adults and kids, which is to be yourself, right? You don't need to do that thing or wear those clothes just because the popular kids are doing it. Free thinking is the grown-up, sophisticated version of that. Cultivating that little bit of healthy mischief in ourselves or our kids or our groups, I think that can be a positive thing. Not cruelty and not being an edgelord for edgelord's sake, but simply to allow people to question things that might sometimes feel unquestionable. Use your power wisely, my dears. So this is effectively part 2 of my critical thinking guide that I posted a month or so ago. I'll put a link to that down below.
Oh, so there was a part 1 I didn't know about, but yeah. So, and I'm gonna bring up a link that we found. It's the herd mentality in Kyron's case. That there was a link, and I'll read that later on. Right now, I kind of want to go and just tell. Let me stop sharing. Oh, I did. Wait, are wasting your time trying to be amicable or reasonable? It is wasting time, and it's like, what are you guys doing for Kyron? Like, you're here for Kyron, but what are you doing? What is it exactly that you're helping with? So, 10 parents who were falsely accused of murdering their children and how it affected their lives. One that's not on here that because this is older, is Monkey Vaughn. Michael, he went missing, and everybody attacked his parents like the day after, like dragged them through the mud, and come to find out they didn't do it. Another one, Summer Wells. We still don't know what happened to her. Do I dislike Dawn? Yes, I do. But there's just nothing, no evidence, just like in Kyron's case, that they did anything. I don't know, but let me read this. The greatest tragedy a person could ever face is the loss of their child. However, as horrible as the situation is, it can escalate into something even worse. Imagine a parent attempting to cope with such a tragedy when the finger is pointed at them and they are wrongfully accused of being responsible for their own child's death. In some cases, there is no crime at all. The child died from tragic, unforeseen circumstances, but faulty evidence led to false accusations of murder. The people had to go through this unfathomable ordeal after losing their children, being accused publicly in the media. I don't know that word. Okay, so James Richardson. In 1967, James Richardson lived in Arcadia, Florida with his wife, Annie Mae, and their 7 children, aged 2 to 8. 3 of the children were from Annie Mae's previous marriage, but James had fathered the rest. On October 25th, James said Annie Mae went to work and left their children in the care of a neighbor named Betsy Reese. Over the course of the day, all 7 children became seriously ill. and each of them would be dead by the following morning. Autopsies revealed they had eaten food laced with poison, and Reese directed authorities towards a shed on the property containing a deadly uh, insecticide called parathion. I don't know. Suspicion fell upon James because he had allegedly purchased insurance policies on all of his children. He was subsequently charged with their murders. At the trial, the prosecution presented testimony from jailhouse informants who claimed they had heard James confess to the crime. James was convicted and sentenced to death, though the sentence was later commuted to 25 years. In 1989, James' defense team requested a new trial after uncovering new evidence to support his innocence. One of the jailhouse informants had recanted, and this is important because a lot of people come out in Kyron's case like months after, and they'll just try to add on, they insert themselves, they try to add on stuff, and people take it and run. So he had recanted his testimony about James's confession. Even though a salesman had offered life insurance policies to James, he had never actually purchased them. So that they didn't even look into that, really. That's sickening. By this time, Betsy Reese was in a nursing home, and 2 employees claimed she had confessed to poisoning the Richardson children. At the time of the murders, Reese was on parole for the fatal shooting of her second husband. Years earlier, Reese's first husband had also died under suspicious circumstances after eating food she had prepared for him. Reese's third husband had also left her for one of James's cousins, giving her a potential motive to murder James's children. This new evidence compelled the Florida Supreme Court to overturn James Richardson's conviction, and he was released from prison. Betsy Reese was never charged. Let me go get some water. I'll be right back. Ugh. All right. So that was one. I know Garnett has to go to work. I'm just going to read a couple more and then we can go through this. So David and Cynthia Dowelby. In 1988, 7-year-old Jocelyn Dowelby lived in Chicago with her mother Cynthia and her stepfather David. On the morning of September 10th, the Dowelbys woke up to discover that Jocelyn was missing from her bedroom and that the room's window had been broken. 4 days later, Jocelyn's body was found 3 miles away in a field behind an apartment building. She had been strangled to death with a rope. The Chicago PD felt great pressure to solve this case and shocked everyone by indicting David and Cynthia Dowelby for their daughter's murder. They argued that the bedroom window had actually been broken from the inside and that the abduction scene was staged. The primary evidence against the Dowelbys was a witness who saw a man at the dump site on the night of Jocelyn's disappearance. Even though the witness was 230 feet away, he claimed that he recognized the man as David because of their similar nose structure. Since there was no hard evidence tying Cynthia to the crime, the trial judge decided to acquit her before the jury even deliberated. Nevertheless, the jury still rendered a guilty verdict against David, and he was sentenced to 45 years in prison. In 1991, the Illinois Supreme Court ruled that there was insufficient evidence against David and overturned his conviction. A possible suspect in her murder was Timothy Guest, the schizophrenic brother of her biological father. He initially had an alibi for the night of the crime, but it came apart upon further examination. Guest also provided specific details about Jocelyn's murder, which were not released publicly, but which he claimed a spirit had told him. However, the Chicago PD still maintains their original position that the Dowelbys were responsible. So that goes into, the same thing. I mean, they're going by somebody that recognized his nose structure from 230 feet away. I don't get it.
There's so much of it. I don't know. These cases happen all the time, and I don't know.
I want to read one more. Hold on. I found one that was kind of. Hold on. Suspicion of, yeah, 4 broken ribs. Hold on. David Kahn was a former state trooper. Is this it? Okay. All right. Deborah Mike. In 1989, a recently divorced mother named Deborah Milky, and her 4-year-old son, Christopher, moved into a Phoenix apartment with a man named Jim Stiers. On December 2nd, Stiers took Christopher on a shopping trip to a mall, while Deborah stayed behind at the apartment. Later that day, Stiers would claim that Christopher had gotten lost at the mall, and he reported him missing. One of Stiers' friends, Roger Scott, caught the attention of the police and was questioned. Scott eventually confessed that he and Stiers had taken Christopher to a remote desert area and shot him 3 times in the head. Scott then led police to Christopher's body, and both he and Stiers were charged with murder. However, in a shocking turn of events, Stiers and Scott both claimed that Deborah had arranged for them to kill her son. She was charged with conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. The prosecution case against Deborah rested squarely on the testimony of a police detective named Armando Saldate, who had interrogated her. Saldate claimed that Deborah had confessed to her involvement in Christopher's murder. Even though no recordings or notes about this alleged confession existed, Deborah and her 2 accomplices were all sentenced to death. Deborah never stopped maintaining her innocence, and years later, it was discovered that the prosecution had failed to turn Detective Saldate's personal file over to the defense. The file showed that Saldate had a history of misconduct in extracting questionable confessions from suspects. This put Deborah's supposed confession into serious question. Since Saldate's testimony was the only evidence against her, the conviction was thrown out. Deborah Mike Milk was released from death row in 2013, and the charges against her were dismissed. So there's like a lot of stuff in these cases where the cops aren't really looking at these things, like the life insurance. Wouldn't that be the first thing they checked out?
They get tunnel vision. They want it to be that person, and then they don't look at anybody else. And that's not because necessarily that they're bad at their job, or they sometimes your gut does pull you in one direction or another. It doesn't always mean it's right, though.
But with cops, those are supposed to be their jobs. And with, what we've heard out of Dee Dee's mouth about how they tried to get her to do certain things. And then we've looked up these cops' backgrounds, and they're not really good,
Right. They've used questionable techniques in the past. And that's the thing. And the whole interrogation technique that I am sure they probably used, because it's the most common, is questionable in itself.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to. Somebody asked, Amanda, you asked, where am I getting this from? I can't put the link for some reason, but just type it to Google. Oh my God, that's loud. 10 parents who were falsely accused of murdering their children. It's on a crime page. It's from May 31st, 2016. There's so many of them. So many. Um, so, okay, let's go on. I'm going to share my screen on Facebook. This is the part that, I mean, I know you have to go to work. Do you want to go through our links and then I will go through, like, I know you're not going to probably be on here, but stuff that I've seen on World Soldiers that's very, which one do you want to do first?
Whichever way you want to do it, you know.
So you don't have to. We get the.
I don't know what links you have. I wherever you need my help the most, hon.
Well,
Wherever I'm going to be the most useful.
You're going to be useful in all of it, but okay, hold on. Let's go to our Facebook group. I'm going to share my page. Hilde, I'm so sorry. I saw your post, and I didn't even know that. I am so sorry for everything that you're going through, and you're definitely a blessing taking care of your sister. She's so lucky that she has someone, you know, by her side. Not a lot of people, you know, will do that. All right. So this is our group, as everybody knows. All right. So I want to read this first. All right. So this person right here is a lawyer. She wrote a post the other day. She said, I'm just going to put this out there. The only thing that we know to be accurate regarding Kyron's disappearing is the following. 1, Kyron was at school on June 4th, 2010. 2, it was not the last day of school. 3, there was a science fair on June 4th, 2010. 4, Terry was at school with Kyron and Kyron's half-sister, and she was the one who took the photo of him before he disappeared. 5, Leo knows exactly where Terry was on June 4th, 2010, minus the time from 10:15 to 11:30. Earlier, somebody argued with me that she was missing for 3 hours, but that's not true. Leo knows exactly where Dee Dee was on June 4th, 2010, minus the time from 11:30 to 1 p.m. Number 7, Terry has never been named a suspect or a person of interest. Number 8, Dee Dee has never been named a suspect or a person of interest. 9, nobody has been named a suspect or a person of interest regarding Kyron Horman's disappearance. Remember that, you guys, because in the other group, I'm going to show you something that was written, and it's just... Number 10, the allegations claiming Terry hired the landscaper to kill Kane are unfounded, and Terry has never been indicted, put in jail, arrested, etc. for this allegation. 11, Kyron disappeared from school on June 4, 2010, and still has not been found. Everything you read online and in Desiree's book is primarily hearsay, rumors, gossip, and unfounded information. I know this because most of the information you read online comes from Desiree or Stacy Green, Desiree's friend. In contrast, the rest comes from people speculating to the point they're creating misinformation and or disinformation. Firstly, in the book, there is a disclaimer made by the author stating that this information was not based on interviews with any law enforcement officers, DA, attorneys, all documented witnesses, other people closely related to the case, police report, court documents, etc. Even though Stacy claims everything was, approved, it was all, that's another post she wrote. The author also uses certain words throughout the book, showing the reader that the information has yet to be confirmed. Desiree's attorney was against the book's release and asked that Desiree not approve of the book's release. The book is almost solely based on Desiree's feelings, not confirmed facts. Secondly, LEO has been tight-lipped on this case. They have hardly released any information in almost 13 years that Kyron has been missing. They continue to state that Kyron's case is still open. The investigation is ongoing, and they receive monthly tips. They make it clear that Kyron's case is not cold and that they have dedicated a room for Kyron's disappearance. Kane stated that there are new eyes on his son's case frequently, so it takes a while for those fresh eyes to get through everything, but they are dedicated. Thirdly, we don't know whether or not Kyron is dead or alive. All we know is that Kyron is still missing and he needs to be found. Finally, when it comes down to Dee Dee getting immunity, we have yet to determine whether or not she was granted immunity. Dee Dee made this claim in 2013, so it's nothing new. The court records that would hold that information are sealed and unavailable to the public, including Kyron's family. Nobody is privy to this information except for the prosecutor's office, Dee Dee and Dee Dee's attorneys. This should help clear up some questions people may have. P.S. People do not accidentally receive immunity. Please don't be ignorant and believe that. I want everybody that is here just to take that all in. Just really think about it. Because this is a lot of good information. Hold on. I'm trying to look for who was it? Oh, Brenda. Brenda brought up some stuff about the book as well. This book was independently published because no reputable publishing company would publish a book of lies that would get them in a lawsuit. And somebody asked her, were any of RM other book independently published? Just curious. Brenda says, no, just this one. Lisa says, interesting. And then,
it is interesting, and it speaks about, yeah, but Rebecca herself says that none of this has been confirmed. She took Mom's opinion and wrote a book about it. She took what Mom said, and the only person that knows whether that's true, whether what she says, is Desiree. So it makes it just her opinion. It makes it just her point of view. And as we said earlier, how much hate is underneath of that?
And Stacy claims still that this all has been verified. So I want to read this because that post hit a nerve. They started speaking about it in the other group, and they accused Brooke of being Terry. Now, we know Brooke was not Terry. Like, we have spoken to Brooke. She's not Terry. So, poor Brooke, she writes, I hate that I have to post this because this group is dedicated to helping bring Kyron home and bring awareness to his case. But I want to clarify that my name is Brooke, and I am not Terry. For the record, Terry has been commenting in this group, so it's apparent that I'm not Terry because she is literally commenting and making posts. It's ridiculous that I have to make this statement because it takes away from the goals outlined in this group. But we should be all on the same page and build trust. Trust is what creates stronger relationship and builds integrity. I'm clarifying this because multiple people have shown me screenshots of the Kyron Horman World Soldiers page where the admin, Stacy, tells her followers I'm Terry. So again, my name is Brooke. I'm a wife, mother, and advocate. I went back to school to attend law school. I make it clear to group members that I'm unfamiliar with Oregon laws, but I can quickly review them and determine how they are laid out and interpreted. Oh, what is that word? I know what it is, but I can't. Okay, I have opinions about Kyron's disappearance, but I try not to be biased. I like to stay cordial and respect all views, but I will quickly debate and correct misinformation, disinformation, and stand up for myself if someone is rude. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. P.S. Stacy, the admin, has blocked me from viewing that page. I have been blocked for a while, which I don't mind. When I commented on her page, she removed me, so I can't dispute her post regarding me personally. Okay. Oh wow, Garnett. Look what people are writing on. That's because most of them are trolls. Who writes let them stay and voice their opinions openly, even if it's destructive? All right. Let's go back to the school. Well, should we go back farther to one's people and then we'll, I don't know, hold on. Okay. So this person posted the article where this came from. She says a few things. And she even says, I've read every article, including comments, and I know that Terry did not leave that school with Kyron. We will show you those witnesses. Just give me a minute. Let me read this. It says, simply don't understand your continuing insistence that T might be guilty. No history, no evidence, no motive, no due process. Hateful accusations by bios, amplified by media, being separated from her daughter without proper protocol of investigation on basis of hearsay. They have her on surveillance video at the same time as Kyron was seen at school. You guys, there was video. Her receipt, she checked out at 9:12, the first Fred Myers. So you don't think they went and looked at the video? They have been scrutinizing her for 3.5 years without coming up with any of these things. And you think if just T had kept talking to LE after they publicly turned against her, the bios were making accusations against her. They had taken her daughter with the clear message that we all got, tell where Kyron is, and this will all stop. She can only tell if she knows. Do you not think she would have told by now if for no reason than that she would get to see Kiera? Her attorneys are not fools. If they believed her guilty, they would have pled her and made a deal if she revealed his whereabouts. Kane, Desiree, Ellie, and DA all want her to tell where Kyron is instead of solving the case themselves. If she were guilty, why haven't they found evidence? Why do they expect a confession instead of a case based on investigation and proof of guilt? That is the normal way a case is made. The last point, the most devastating one, is that it is not possible to prove innocence. Engel repeatedly accuses House of trying to use the divorce court to prove she is innocent. What a laugh. It is DA involvement that has mixed the criminal element in with the RO that has been withdrawn. I remind you, because they were unwilling to provide evidence to back it up. It's been said in this discussion that for everyday citizens, innocent until proven guilty doesn't hold up. We form our opinions on our own way of looking at things, but in court, even a divorce court being twisted into a criminal case only without allowing cross-examination of accusers. As far as I know, the rule holds innocent until proven guilty. It is understandable why John and JQ publicly think T is probably or possibly guilty because they have nothing but media accounts to guide them. And these are universally negative. We are thrilled when Max throws a few crumbs of objectivity. But for anybody who has been following the case closely, and especially the information presented on this blog and by the very knowledgeable people on here, anyone who has seen all the missteps, inappropriate, possible, unlawful actions taken by JK, DA, and K's team, it's much more difficult to understand. I want to show you the link where Ellie says that she did cooperate, but Tony, the stepdad,
When was that post from, or that blog from?
2 days ago, Brenda posted it.
Okay. No, the blog itself. You can't tell, can you?
No, yeah, it's the Blink on Crime.
Okay.
Okay, so let me go down to this link that's like a news article, and let's read what this has to say. Ellie publicly states that Terry was cooperating. Wait, right here. Missing boy's mom makes new appeal to stepmother. The biological mother of a 7-year-old Oregon boy missing for more than a month issued a fresh appeal Tuesday to the boy's stepmother again, asking her to cooperate with police. Desiree Young said the boy's 18-month-old half-sister needs to see that Terry Horman, did the right thing in bringing her brother home. She said the girl loves and misses Kyron. He is somewhere and we don't know where, Young said at a news conference. Terry Horman is the last person to know to have seen Kyron at his Portland school before he vanished on June 4th. Investigators have not named her as a suspect or a person of interest. Her attorney, Portland defense lawyer Stephen House, did not immediately return calls seeking comment. MCSO authorities have said that Horman has been cooperating with the investigation, but Tony Young, the boy's father, his stepfather, said in an email to a news organization late Monday that they don't believe that Horman has given authorities her full cooperation. And that goes with, hold on, what was I going to say? Dan Statton. There's a link in here where Dan Statton did say that she was cooperating and that everything that you will hear will be mostly from the media and that side of the family. Like he actually stated that, and that's somewhere in here too. So we're hearing people say, why doesn't she cooperate? Why doesn't she cooperate? Well, they made a statement saying she was cooperating.
Well, and that's these are the little things that have always been just forgotten about, they're not out there. They don't make it a point for them to be there. And so nobody believes them when they do get shown.
Yeah. But,
I've said Terry cooperated more than I ever would have without a lawyer. I mean, I'll take a lawyer and go talk to anybody anytime, but I'm not going to talk to them without a lawyer because these situations happen.
Mm-hmm. These are, I can't share it. It's probably too small. But these are pictures of the steps where Terry walked out of. And you could see straight down the hall to Kyron's classroom. There's nothing in the way, like Desiree
says in the book.
Yeah, there's nothing in the way. You can see
Desiree, and I don't like talking bad about Desiree, but I will, because she didn't even know where his class was. In the early days, both the bio parents gave the wrong class number. Terry had been in that class all year. She knew where his room was.
Yeah.
Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, have a vaccine or plan to.
Well, I mean, I know my kids, um, classrooms. It's just, and nobody, and we don't want to. We're not like trying to bash her, but just like in a post that I'm going to show you guys, Stacy said, "I'm allowed to question Kane. Everybody should be questioned." But when we question or ask certain things, like why is this said, why isn't this about Desiree, it's wrong.
The minute anybody says anything about Desiree, the entire community gets in like this incredible twist. And I am sorry, but yes, everybody needs to be questioned.
Exactly.
That's the first thing you hear is, everybody's a suspect. Everybody's questionable. In any other case but this one.
Yep.
In this case, nobody's a suspect but Terry. And to me, that's insane.
Wait, what? The author has a theme she writes about the nobody cases. It's like the book was written by the author to stick to their own. Oh, Samantha, see, I've never read any of her books. I haven't even read, I've seen a few things that have been written in there that are just like, what? Like the whole James thing. I mean, she wasn't there every day. So how could she?
Well, that's the biggest part of this. Is, as far as I know, I don't think that Desiree had spent a whole lot of time at Kane and Terry's house interacting with them as a family. How does she know all of this?
Oh, wait, Samantha posted a video in the group. I didn't see the video. Can you tag me in it, Samantha? This next thing is about the cell towers. The Sabi Island ping is one of the most ridiculous things about this case. A lot of people still believe Terry went to Sabi Island the day Kyron disappeared. MCSO released a statement to local media that said cell phone records indicate it's possible Terry Horman may have been seen on Sabi Island June 4, 2010. They never said her phone pinged on Sabi Island, and there's a very good reason they phrased the statement that way, because there are no cell towers on Sabi Island. In 1997, there was a proposal to build a tower in the island, but it was never built. The tower her phone pinged off of does service the Sabi Island area and everywhere around it. This is a pretty rural area and there aren't many towers. One tower services a very large area. More importantly, there's only one bridge to and from the island. That's the Sabi Island Bridge. This bridge has a camera that captures every vehicle that crosses it. MCSO have used it to help solve other crimes. It was placed in 2008 when the bridge was built. Kane's white Ford F-250, the one that Terry was driving, did not cross the Sabi Island Bridge. And this is, this is the link to, it's not found anymore, but you can look it up. There was no tower.
There's actually maps that show the tower I've seen, and where its service area was at that time.
Yeah.
That's obvious, but once again, when we're talking about, and this has always been a question in the back of my mind. Now, the police come out and say that her vehicle was not seen on the island. We agree with that, right?
Yeah.
So, why were so many searches done on the island if they knew her vehicle wasn't there? If she was the only person they're looking at?
Exactly.
David Durham. Is that the right name?
Yeah, that piece of freaking.
Yeah. He lived on Sabi Island.
Let me look him up, you guys. Let me show you this piece of. And we've seen where he lived. We've wrote about him plenty of times.
He was acting strange by his brother's own statement around the time that Kyron went missing.
Okay. Hold on. Let me share my screen. There's so much.
I really didn't mean to get off on a tangent on him.
Well, no,
but
I was going to bring that up later on, but it's better we're doing this together on, the same subject. All right. So I wrote a couple of things. Okay, so wait, that's David Stenson.
Doesn't always mean it will last forever. Their relationship will be foundational. And when that attraction leads to obsession,
who was the target? We have 2 victims here.
it can quickly turn into
I think they're all in cold blood.
a killer relationship.
Okay, why didn't I? Okay, I think it was on a different name, but okay, this is what I wrote about him. But we used to have like a whole, like his pictures and stuff. Maybe it's under photos.
maybe.
So I just wrote, who thinks Durham could be involved and why? He was at the gas. Okay. He was at the gas station near the school. This wasn't the one that was pacing back and forth. Someone said that they spotted a little boy in a black truck that looked scared, and he drives one. He's on the FBI's most wanted list. I can share his info with you. Give me a minute. Okay, so this is him right here. That's him. This is the information. Months ago, I wrote Portland Ellie and suggested looking into Terry would know personally or business-wise that lives on Sabi Island. One that could be manipulated by Terry in believing that Kyron, Baby K, and herself were in danger. Here is one such man that could be friends, and I don't believe that, but this man is David Anthony Durham, 43, single, lives on Sabi Island near a dock. Lived in the area for the last 6 years. He, okay, so 2005, left job to go to school. He's an avid landscaper, very comfortable with living, camping in the forest, volunteer firefighter, pled guilty to a misdemeanor prostitution charge, Portland, 1999, started acting weird 6 months ago, and that was 2000. This was written on February 3rd, 2011. This is a truck driver heading toward Portland on Highway 25 on Saturday, 6/5 afternoon, said a dirty gray black truck turned in front of him onto Salbury Road. Inside was a boy who appeared startled and who looked like Kyron. And there's links. I don't know why we posted it.
And it's something we could go back and revisit. I don't mind revisiting these people, especially because we have so many new members. But, you guys tell us who you want to deep dive into, and we'll do all the late work again. We do have most of it already.
He went mental after 2010. He shot a cop. You guys, he hasn't been seen since. He's still on the America's Most Wanted list or whatever. He just went crazy. So he's not found. Kyron's not found.
And like I said, I just find it, I've always found that sort of interesting that even when they knew her truck was not on that bridge, they still spent a lot of time focused on that island.
Yep. And we have that
And
too.
I truly believe that in itself says that Terry wasn't the only person that they've looked into. I mean, in my heart, I have to believe that they do have other suspects in mind. I cannot live with the thought that they've only looked at Terry.
Well, if James said out of his mouth that Ellie is looking overseas, that tells me a lot.
Right.
Tells me a lot. And James is not the type of person to just say things, especially if Ellie's looking at our group, which we know they do. He's not going to just say that and it not be true.
Well, and it just wouldn't serve any purpose. He was bullied into going to the detectives just to prove his point, and kudos to him for it. But then the minute he did go and the cops didn't throw him in a cell or torture him till he told on his mother, they got mad and kicked him out of the group.
Yeah. Stacy's been saying that she's been telling him, like, you need to go talk to the investigators for years. He came out himself and he wanted to go in and talk to investigators. Like, he wanted to find out what was going on. Like, Stacy didn't make him do any of that.
Well, I do think that she bullied him into that. Yes, she did. But regardless of the fact, when it didn't go the way she wanted it to go, she just kicked him out of the group. What she really thought was going to happen was that he was going to go in there and, I don't know, like I said, torture him till he tells. I don't know. I don't know what she thought was going to come of that.
Well, now she continues to, say what's in the book, and then starting to say nasty, disgusting things that James was doing something to Kyron, and that's why he got sent away. And
yes, that's disgusting. To even share that is disgusting. The man that wrote those has a history of a lot of legal issues. I question the mental stability even at the time, because I personally was around for when these posts were coming up. And if you spoke or watched him speak long term, you could obviously see that there could be a mental health issue.
Hold on. Face calling. Wait, he had docs. Yeah, he had docs. Didn't we find? We have so much information on him.
On who?
Hey, love, on David Durham. Hey,
yes. I've got all we've got all kinds of crap.
Who's online?
Myself and Garnett, we're going through just something. She's about to go to work in a minute.
Garnett, have a wonderful day at work. I'm sorry that you have to work on a Friday. I think
it's not Friday.
It's Thursday. It's my Friday.
It's her Friday, she said.
Oh, well.
Faye said, make it count, and she hopes you have a wonderful day at work.
Yes.
Tell her I said thank you.
Come join us, or I'm gonna call you when we're done. Either way, but. Well, I'm.
She'll be on for hours.
I'm good. No, for real. I feel, I'm in one of my good moods today, so nothing's going on, and I'm good.
Do you not want me to tell you later?
Tell me what?
I won't. Tell you Brooks, what Brooks put on yesterday.
What, who?
True crime wife and whatever she can.
Oh, I already knew what she was gonna do. Yeah, I made a video.
Oh my God, I have a stroke. Okay.
I'll call you because we'll talk. All right.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. I knew that was gonna happen. I knew it.
What's that?
the creator that shared there's new evidence in the Kyron Horman case.
Uh-huh.
You know, the one that we've talked about that I went on panel before. So I guess she did a video about it. I knew it was I made a video Amelia, a couple days ago about how I knew this was gonna happen. See, they just take it and run, and she has a lot of subs. People are gonna run with it, and that's how shit gets started. There is no new fucking evidence. All right,
Right?
back to this because I will get. I'm not. Here's okay. People say Terry acted funny after Kyron disappeared and did all this weird stuff. This is part of the book. Desiree and Tony, who had a civil ceremony in August 2009, married again on August 7th, 2010. There they are, happily, kissing. And, my thing is
2 months after Kyron is missing.
2 months.
You'll never explain that to me. This wasn't, they didn't buy a marriage license and have to have it by a certain day. This was to celebrate with their families because the first one wasn't celebrated with the families, is the way I understood. So how does that work? How do you celebrate with your family when your son isn't there?
They could have waited. That should have waited. That there was no point in any of that. I couldn't imagine, that's the first thing on my mind. Like 2 months later, let's just get remarried. And none of this stuff is brought up, you guys. And this is why, we're going to speak how we feel because it's only right. It's only right.
I think that we really need to pick each one of these people that we want to talk about, what that our members want to talk about. I think that we should pick one every week and talk about them. Let's do deep dives into them. We have most of the legwork covered already. But with all our new members, they might find something that we haven't.
Yeah, like the person the other day that brought up the charges for David Stenson.
Right.
Wait,
I say that's what we do.
Hold on. Kitty said, I saw what it was like when James came into SG's group and it was bullying. Now that it didn't go the way she wanted, she joins in with the crap that other members say about him. And she encourages it. Somebody will say, oh, this probably happened. She'll be like, oh, it did.
Absolutely.
It did. That happened. Absolutely happened. Yeah, we can do that. We can do once a week, pick one person.
Let's start with David Durham. We'll do him. How busy are you this evening?
Not busy. I'm a loser, guys. My kids are in school, so.
Well, that's why I'm asking. You can do the legwork, right?
The kids I don't have, you guys. I'm sorry. The kids I don't have. So, of course, I'm not busy. So I don't have my kids. Yeah, I can do research. I have to go back and find. We have to go in group chats. We have so much stuff about that man. I just don't know where it all went.
And I will look up stuff that I can listen to, if there's anything I can find about him.
Hold on, because I know you have to go soon. I want to read this. Now, you guys, the lawyer in our group has gotten these divorce documents, Kane and Desiree. You guys can order them online for $3. She's not posting them because there's private information. She would have to cross everything out, and I fully trust Brooke. She has no reason to lie. You guys, you can order them yourself. They are public. So, Oh, what the heck? What? What? Where did it go? Hold on. Uh, oh, I also want to read that one. Hold on.
No, that script was yours.
Hold on. Where did it go?
What post were you looking for?
The one that Brooke, remember I shared from the Discord about the divorce and um
They might have, well, you posted it?
yeah, and I just saw it. It was just in front of my face and then it just oh right here. Okay. So Brooke says in Discord, I have them. She just forwarded the documents. Um, it states that Desiree planned to move out of the country and Desiree's to award primary custody to the father. She and Kane still had joint custody of Kyron. Kane was to take Kyron to Seattle on the weekends. To the parties agreed to Desiree's parenting time. Major holidays were to be shared. Then Brooke says Desiree should have paid approximately $428 a month to Kane after he was awarded primary custody, but they both agreed that it was unnecessary due to mother's health conditions and the needs of the parties. Brooke says Desiree filed for divorce due to irreconcilable differences causing irremediable marriage. It doesn't mention anything about adultery. Somebody says, yeah, that sounds about like what I heard. So she gave up Kyron and Kane, let her get away without paying child support. Brooke says, exactly. She desired to give up primary custody of Kyron to Kane, but she still wanted joint custody. Um, the agreement was that she was to see him once a month in Seattle on a weekend that she and Kane agreed on. They, Kane and Desiree, agreed that Desiree didn't need to pay the child support because of Desiree's unnamed health condition. Basically, the $428 would have been a burden on Desiree's financial situation. I need to review the financial, health care, and insurance agreement. I believe Kane still paid for her health insurance after the divorce, but I need to confirm. I would share the documents here, but a lot would need to be redacted, such as social security numbers. So then she says the book, Boy Missing, is incorrect. Desiree claimed the reason she went to see a divorce attorney was because she caught him having an affair. That's not what she said in the divorce papers. Also, she claims she went into premature labor due to Kane giving her an STD, which is also not mentioned in the divorce documents. The expected due date was September 15th, 2002. Kyron was born just a few days before the original due date. Desiree also claims that she and Kyron moved out in December of 2002. However, she acquired a new home and claims in the divorce documents um, that her and Kyron had been living there since his birth. And then she says also Kane did not pay for her health insurance after the divorce. James, I think, because it says we went to Seattle frequently to visit his parents, but I don't remember Desiree showing up to see him. Brooke says, oh my God, the book is a lie. She gave Kane primary custody, not sole, in March of 2004. The book claims she visited Canada in August of 2004. It implies she moved there shortly after. She also claimed the agreement would revert back to her having primary custody of Kyron when she returned to Oregon, and that Kane didn't honor the agreement. The agreement never said that she also claims in the book that Kane was still paying child support to her even after giving up primary custody, but that's not what's in the divorce documents. She also claims to have fought for custody when she returned, but she never filed anything after giving Kane primary custody. She always had visitation. Um, she said she was planning on moving to Canada prior to March 2004. The original custody and divorce agreement was set in place in February 2003. Desiree's attorney withdrew her representation once the original custody matter and divorce settled. Also, where Desiree claims that Kane didn't follow through on the agreement, Desiree stated under oath that she read the agreement in full and understood what it said and was even notarized. Oh, that's loud.
Oh,
So
sorry.
she says, I agree. No wonder Ellie doesn't tell her anything. I'm so mad right now. I truly believed that woman in the beginning. I read the book. I highlighted a lot of the book. I referenced the book a lot. I felt bad for her. I still do. Now I learned the ugly custody battle she entails upon the public wasn't true at all. She willingly gave up primary custody of Kyron well before her visitation to Canada in August of 2004. She had plans to move to Canada prior to March of 2004, a year after she was granted primary custody of Kyron. She lied about Kane not paying child support. That ceased when she gave up custody per the supplemental agreement. She lied about Kane not following through with the agreement. She read the agreement and signed an affidavit under oath in front of a notary public. If she filed for divorce because Kane was having an affair, then why not file on the grounds of adultery? It's a much better outcome for her that way. She filed due to Eric, what is that again? Eric, oh, hold on. Irreconcilable differences. Why lie about premature labor? The divorce docs say she was due September 5th, 2002. Kyron was born on September 9th, 2002. She wasn't bedridden or sick. Her credibility is gone. So this is saying that she gave up custody, a year before she knew that she was going to Canada. I can't hear you, Garnett. You're muted. I'm a little confused. Did Desiree marry her ex, the father of Kyron? Yeah, Desiree and Kane were married, and they got a divorce. Oh yeah, she renewed her vows with the guy she's still married to. Yeah. It might be strange what I'm about to say, and I will be clear, but the lady that gave birth to Kyron, was she ever a suspect to where they questioned her? If I was Ellie, I would look. So I'm going to show that late. They took a polygraph as well. I don't.
Once again, none of the polygraphs have been confirmed or denied by Ellie.
And did you see the thing I sent you with the Desiree questions? And she said what questions were on the lie detector test?
Yeah, I probably did. Last night when you sent me all that stuff, huh?
Yeah, there was 10. She said that Terry went through 10 hours, and the questions, like, yeah. I don't know how she knew the questions, and just resubmitted the post with the YouTube link with the okay, thank you, Samantha. We definitely will accept it. I don't know what happened with that. Christine, yeah, everybody needs to be looked into, and that is our point, you guys. If people would just look at this kind of stuff, why it might seem little to lie about this, but why write a whole book not telling the truth? Now you have to question every little thing that.
Well, for me, it all goes back, and your child's missing. Why would you not tell everything, regardless of how it makes you look? All right, I wasn't in his life as much as I should have been, and I'm going to have to deal with that on my own personal time. But we still need to find my son. Why wouldn't you have went that route first?
Yeah.
I mean, my son's missing. I don't care how I look to you. I want my son home.
And why move hours away?
That kills me. That, you know, that's a stickler for me. I am telling you, I have been sick. I have been in that situation, and I could never. I'm starting over. I'm going to start over close to my kids. Even if I have to stay in a homeless shelter, I'm going to start over close to my kids, not 5 hours away.
Exactly. This is found weird too, and you guys in the group, I'm telling you, if you go to the search bar, look up names you want to find. This is Kane. The only evidence of this are alleged emails that haven't been made public, and Kane can't decide whether he's seen them or not. In 2010, Kane did an interview with ABC, and this is what he said. Reporter, have you seen the emails that are being talked about where Terry allegedly talks about hurting Kyron? Kane says, yeah, well, I've seen them, yes. And there's a video of the interview I linked. In 2013, he and Desiree went on the Dr. Phil when the emails were brought up about Terry wanting to hurt Kyron. Kane said this, I haven't seen any emails, so hearing that's a little bit of a shock to me. And then the Dr. Phil archive is right there too. How could he forget about those emails if they're as bad as Desiree says they are?
Right, as graphic and yeah, how is that?
Oh, this is your, okay, so this is when we posted about, I would have to go find the Tanner one. Hold on. So, one person who has been asked again about what he saw is Skyline 7th grader Tyler Kessinger, whose science fair project was antimatter, which is, we posted it, what it was. It's the electric project that Tanner said Kyron was going to look at.
It could have been the electric project. We don't know that it is, but it could have been.
Well, he saw him. So, I mean, it could have been. But he made a... Hold on. So one person who has been asked again about what he saw is Skyline 7th grader Tyler Kessinger, whose science fair project was antimatter. He said investigators came back to interview him last week at his home. I just saw him, Kyron, in the gym, and I saw the truck out in the parking lot. He said Wednesday, Kessinger said Kyron was looking at other students' science fair project, seemed happy, and was with friends. Kessinger said he hopes it's all cleared up soon because it's a frightening situation for him. Just knowing someone took him and not coming out and confessing, and he's probably in some other random place, he said. He said when he saw Kyron in the gym, he didn't see Terry Horman with him. Now, Tanner is the boy that came out with the interview saying that he saw Kyron.
Hold on a second, because I'm going to have to go to work. But I want to get this out. Now, he's seen a white truck in the parking lot.
The gardener.
Now, to me, that's all that makes sense. Because Terry wasn't parked in that parking lot. We know where she parked. And she parked away from other vehicles when she parked at the stores. If you look at the overhead view of Skyline, that parking lot wouldn't have been easy to navigate in her truck if she's not comfortable in that truck if she wasn't comfortable with it. But that gardener certainly wouldn't have looked suspicious at all with his truck in that parking lot. And he probably does it 4 or 5 times a week. So,
And you guys, he came out months later. It was raining. We have all the weather for like that whole week. I'm gonna pull that up too. And
all right, I just want to let you know I am getting off here. I got to get ready.
no,
Yes, you know when we started this.
no. Well,
But I love you.
won't do too much more, but I do want to show you guys a little bit more. But I guess we'll do like a part 2 of the. I almost called you Desiree. Oh my God, Garnett doesn't work tomorrow, so we'll do like another part 2, finishing it up. But I'll do a little bit more.
All right.
I love you.
Later.
Have a good day.
You too, honey.
All right. So Tanner's grandmother let him speak, even though Ellie told her not to. But he saw Terry leave without Kyron. 8-year-old Tanner Humula says the first person to notice Kyron Horman was missing was a substitute teacher who was taking a head count as the 2nd and 3rd grade classes was reassembling after visiting other classrooms for a science fair at Skyline School last Friday. And she was like, oh no, where's Kyron? There's only 5. And Miss Porter was like, it's okay, calm down. He's probably in the bathroom or getting a drink of water. She said, all right, I'm going to leave. And she left, says Tanner Pumula. Tanner is Kyron's desk mate in the combined 2nd, 3rd grade classroom. Tanner says Kyron was in school for at least an hour Friday morning and that he saw Kyron's stepmother leave the school without Kyron. And FBI agents interviewed Tanner and MCSO Sheriff Dan Stanton, who we have so much. We've gone over the corruption with him. He visited Tanner Wednesday afternoon. Upon hearing the substitute teacher noticing that Kyron was not present in the classroom, Tanner says the regular teacher said Kyron had probably gone to get a drink of water or to use the bathroom. It wasn't until the bus ride home from school, says Tanner, that he noticed Kyron was not on the bus. Kyron's stepmother notified school authorities of her son not being on the bus around 3:45 p.m. Tanner's grandmother says FBI agents and MCSO investigators have asked Tanner and his grandmother not to speak with the media for reasons they did not divulge. Führer says she decided to allow her grandson to talk, in part to keep the missing boy in the public eye. He has an interview. So he's walking down the hall and he says, hey, Kyron. And Kyron's like, I'm going to look at this cool electric project. And that was where the witness we just talked about came in. He said that Terry was not with him. And if you go on, I'll pull up the link in a minute. Let me read some comments. Yeah, they should all be looked into. You don't do a 10-hour polygraph, right? I'm going to show you guys that too. There's so much that I found last night, you guys. It's insane. It's insane. They point too many fingers at each other. Oh no, then they take little girl from Terry, rid themselves of Kyron, and start over with half sibling, and he sends her to that dysfunctional school. Yeah, Kane's daughter still goes to the same school that Kyron went missing. those polygraph tests could be wrong. It's been known that some people that have been guilty have passed it and some innocent have failed. And that's very true about. And last night, Terry posted her medical. I'll show you guys that. She posted her medical thing from 2009. So that was a year prior, but she's always had these problems. So let me go. I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to get off in a minute. I do want to show you just a little bit of what I'm talking about these comments that do not sit right with me. And I'm going to ask you guys what your opinion when you read this is, because I want to see if it's the same as my thinking. Okay, so Terry posted, she said, I've seen this come up several times over the years, and James could certainly verify that I am deaf, which he has in the interview that we did with him, in my left ear. Too bad, hashtag not a Dr. Phil, didn't simply ask for my audiology report, or I don't know, some other kind of verification. It's a birth defect, and I didn't realize how much I was missing until I received a hearing aid around 2005. I can hear out of my right ear, but it takes a second to process. Even then, I have to really concentrate, which makes it a furrowed brow, squinting, or even closing eyes in appearance. She posted her card. Repair expiration date. Oh, so 2009 was the expiration date. And this is her, her card. And yeah, I mean, David Stenson, I'll show you guys his interview. He's sitting in his white truck during the interview. So many weird, and people will be like, oh, that means nothing, and they'll still make up. This is one person that came from Stacy's group last night. Oh, well, I have the screenshots in my phone. So she was like talking about she's a lawyer and that she's going to expose Terry. She can get documents. She can receive documents that nobody else can, no lawyers, no anybody, because she can get into the system. And so she told me links aren't considered evidence. And just FYI, did I say I was going to expose anyone? Do better. I'm like, yeah, you actually did. Read your first paragraph. And I screenshot it. You guys, this is what they do. It's ridiculous. Like, they come up with so many lies. And let me show you that first. Hold on. It's disgusting. Okay, wait, where is it? Where is it? Okay, so she was in Stacy's group and she writes, I get this screenshot sent to me. She writes, I'm going to join the group she posted in about Kyron and attach every one of these links with these stories. We'll see how she likes that. Hashtag, where's Kyron, Terry? Hashtag, fucking monster. So I said, let's welcome our new member, Charlotte Bacon, who will come to post links but not post flyers. Welcome to the group. I was like, where are all these links, Charlotte? Guys, I cannot make any of this up. Like, hold on. So She says, I'm a practicing attorney with absolutely nothing to do with the case other than being able to see through her bullshit by court records. She will be exposed when I have a moment to get to post for the degenerates on this page. I will. I have more access to any of these records than you ever will. You can't even obtain the files, but want to get on this blue app and defend someone you obviously know nothing about and are fooled. Your IQ speaks volumes through these comments, and like you preach, um, so trustingly, do your own research. Oh, you can't because you don't have access to restrictions. Oh, I get it. Not even Terry can. So before you try to bully someone in this blue app, just read the official court documents. Oh, wait, you can't. You guys, it gets better. Just give me a minute. Um, and while you try to log into the bar, I'd hope you gladly assume this isn't my real name. Here's a taco. And since you obviously have nothing else to do, I'll be waiting for your low IQ response while I finish up my legal work. You guys, our lawyer, Brooke, came in and hold on. So I just responded back. Like, I kind of wanted to mess with her. Like, I was in that mood. I'm like, fuck these trolls. So I'm like, we have plenty of lawyers in our group, ma'am. You're not special. What kind of lawyer talks about a case like it's a game? And a group for Kyron, only worried about Terry. No shit, it's not your real name because you're a coward to even come in with it. Good night, and a little pig sign. She said, and as I figured, good night. And then I realized she said practicing attorney. So I was like, oh, you're a practicing attorney. Practice some more, then come back. You thought you were going to do something here? I was waiting on these links. And she said, keep waiting. And yes, stay up. And I'm just messing around now. I'm like, this bitch is a troll. Like, so I'm posting stupid memes. And I was like, pass the bar first. Then when you do, come back. I might let you back in. And then I told Garnett, I said, oh gosh, maybe I need to stay up. The practicing attorney is going to expose Terry. Garnett says, oh, I just can't. So this person has special access to court documents. Hope that helps her understand that every damn person is absolutely innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. I would think that this lawyer would also know that polygraphs are only an investigation tool and not used in court. Also, any law enforcement would never let someone walk on a murder for hire plot if they had evidence. They would never risk someone's life like that. So I'm joking around at this point because they accuse Brooke of being Terry. They accuse us all of being Dee Dee or Terry's mom. So I just put, I think she's Stacy's mom with a laughing sign. I said, no, Garnett, though, you are definitely correct. She is one of those lawyers that are given to you through court, like the court appointed. My IQ is too low. Sorry about that. But yeah, I wouldn't hire you, lady. You're probably just as corrupt as the police are. And she goes through all defense attorneys do with the jurisdiction. You're absolutely right. I never said anything about a polygraph. As it's not admissible in court, therefore is retained in case documentation from court. You only know what you've been told, but they only know what they've been told by this group. Judges risk lives daily. If they didn't, every person who committed murder and or accessory would still be in jail. I said, what the fuck are you even talking about now? You only hear what you want to hear. We lay out facts and things that matter. What do? Terry did it, and I'm going to prove it. Blase, blase, blase. But what about Kyron? You are all concerned on what the fuck we have going on. But what are you doing for Kyron? You all sound like robots. It's so miserable. Go obey your master. She's like, are you done? Good night. Remember? I was like, no, you told me to wait up, waiting for all these court documents you have that no one else does. You're going to say Terry wasn't really deaf too, huh? I was like, harassing, threatening a person and their family for 12 years based off lies. Real good court appointed attorney. She said, I never said I would expose court documents. I said, I see case documents. Don't know if Terry is deaf, and I don't care. Of course you don't care. I've never harassed or threatened Terry in any way. Wait, it gets better. You posted a screenshot of what I wrote. Oh, where's the part where she tried to say that she didn't? I don't know where it went. She said that she never said she was going to expose Terry. Oh, I just read that part. So I was like, exposed again. And I showed her what she wrote. Like, you said in your very top comment, you were about to expose. So I was like, I'm just having fun with a troll. Terry comes and says, and writes the link for something's wrong with Stacy's mom, which was hilarious to me. Charlotte Bacon says, how? LOL, she will be exposed. Did I say I'm releasing court documents and exposing her? Quit while you're ahead, sweetheart. And then she asked Terry, where's Kyron, Terry? So you don't harass her or anything, but you just came here to troll and harass. I just said, oh, the troll is mad. Hashtag Stacy's mom. Hashtag doesn't have it going on. She says, Terry, where's Kyron? And I was like, yeah, you did say that. And you're failing miserably. Your words don't lie. A practicing lawyer that isn't going to expose Terry, but not worry about finding Kyron or took him. I've had my fun for the night. Then she kept asking, where is Terry? Where's Kyron, Terry? Terry says, your tangent. See, I can't even read that. Speech is manifesting. She says, well, isn't that great? Where's Kyron at, Terry? And I said, Terry, she should be manifesting being a legit lawyer. The trolling thing isn't working out for anyone. It shows who and what their real focus is. For them, it's never been Kyron. He has been failed for 12 years because of these people and many others. It's disgusting. So then I go on to ask her. It goes back and forth. Then she starts asking me where Kyron is. You seem to know quite a lot. Where's Kyron at, Camilla? And then she says, oh, did you know where Kyron is? I know a ton of people looking for Kyron. Where's Kyron at? Your twist of words and lack of comprehension is incredible. If you see Kyron, let me know. I said, good night for real, Stacy, or her mom. I have kids that go to school in the AM. Not a trolling job like you. I have a real actual life, victims, families to help. You need to get checked, get some help. Guys, it goes on and on and on. Like, these people are insane. Like, now we're just, oh. Then Brooke comes in, the attorney. She says, Bacon, attorney here. You're very wrong. We can access the court records, and I have. It's public record. It's called a FOIA. Nobody can access the criminal file regarding Kyron, including his mother. Get out of here. And then Brooke said, I was getting ready for work and saw the post. She's not an attorney. If she is, I would be truly shocked. This is the kind of stuff that we got to put up with. Hello? Yeah, I'm still on the live. I'm about to get off, but give me 20 minutes. All right, girl. Bye. Yeah. Are you trying to say something? I'm Mexican. I love tacos. I love tacos. All right, you guys. I want to just show you guys some things that I was disgusted at, and tell me. We'll go over links and stuff on a part 2, but I do want to go through this. Let me stop sharing my screen real quick so I can pull this up. Ah, shit! I can't pull it up, can I? Yeah, I can. Oh no, I can't. Hold on, let me sign into my my other Facebook, because that's where I have all the messages at, where I screenshotted all of this ridiculous bullshit. Mm, the facts can be in these people's faces, and it's like it doesn't even matter. Nothing matters to these people. Ah, shit, forgot password. Hold on, I gotta wait for a code to be sent to me. Since I have so many Facebooks just to stalk her, stalk Stacy. 477 376. All right. Ow! Let me pull up these real quick. I gotta use the bathroom, you guys. Hold on. All right. So these are what I sent Garnett because I wasn't here in the very beginning when Stacy first started um, this group. And I was like, let me just go and go back. Um, you know, I just went through the whole thing. Oh my God, there's so much here. And I'm sorry if you guys don't understand what I'm trying to get at, but I think you guys will. I need to use the restroom though, like so bad. Don't worry, I was watching YouTube. So when I took screenshots, this was here. So Stacy for years has been saying there's something big happening. We all know that because she still says it. Out in 2016, she said, "I just got this Portland radio. Listen tomorrow at 7:15 a.m. to hear if Terry Horman will face charges for speaking out on the Dr. Phil show." Here's her saying, "Can you hear me now?" Because she says that Terry is not deaf, which Terry just proved. Um, what the medical card. So she says, "So what do you rate Terry's performance on Dr. Phil?" Um, Hold on. It's not going to be in order. And again, do you know where Kyron Horman is? Young said Terry Horman failed a lot of questions that they asked her, and that she failed 3 polygraph tests, each 10 hours long. So each polygraph test was nearly 10 hours long. That came out of Desiree's mouth. So is that really, that's not a thing, right? Yeah, you're going to see it as I go, Val. This is even back then. It's been the same thing. It's been the same thing. Same thing. Hey, baby. Hold on, you guys. I got to pee, and my son, just got home. Hey, what are you doing? Huh? Are you home? What did you come to get? I'm going to show you something. Oh, what? Oh my God, that is awesome. That is so cool. you gonna go back and come back? Okay. I will call Aunt Pam in 15 minutes, okay? Okay. Love you. Make sure you bring your ultimate surprise. All of them so we can play them. Huh? Oh. Okay. My aunt's watching my son. Huh? Yes. Boy. He is at my aunt's, so I could do this. But the focus, yeah, the focus has been. Hold on. Okay. So she also says, please share. If you called in a tip about Kyron Horman, Terry Horman, or Dee Dee Spicer, we want to hear from you. Tips for Kyron at yahoo.com. Can we make this go viral? I bet we can. Why is she asking people that turned in tips to Ellie to come forward and let her know what the tips are? Does anybody find that weird, or is it just me? It might. I don't know. 2015. She says, "Man, Terry, really must suck to be you. Your life has gone to shit, all on your own. Doing, by the way, you have no husband, no kids that love you. Your life sucks. You are running from problems, getting nowhere. What a life that must be. That is the beautiful life for sure. Hopefully soon, Kane will take the next step and terminate your rights as a parent. Kitty will know that her egg donor was just that. It's okay though, Terry. Kitty has a new mommy, one that adores her, loves her, and gets to watch her grow. She is the one who gets to share all those wonderful memories with. Makes my heart happy just thinking of the love they may have, or the love they have. Kitty's new mommy stepped in a very important time in her life. These memories will be some of the best of her sweet life. I thank God they are not with you, Terry." I can't. And then she's saying, I will bet one day Kitty will sit down with someone like Diane Sawyer or Oprah Winfrey. Why would she even want, what parent would want? Kane doesn't even want her in the public eye. She will speak about what it was like to be the child of Terry Horman. You are not giving her anything good to say about you, Terry. Kyron is Kitty's older brother. She misses him. She loves him. She wants him home. Plus, she wants to know why her egg donor abandoned her. Why didn't you fight harder for her brother? Why did you stay silent? Why? Terry, you will deserve every bit of anger that she will have for you. Bring her brother home, Terry. Give Kitty something good to remember. Why is she always speaking about, in every post, even if it's a picture of Kyron, it's always something to do with Terry. And then this is what she encourages. You say she should be tortured till she talks. That is ridiculous. It makes it sound like you think the torture should stop once she talks. I think it should continue till she dies. And then they should revive her again so they can start again. What? And this came from somebody saying, some people might think it's wrong, but I think Terry should get tortured till she talks. Somebody says, okay, with me, if I could, I would torture her myself until she talked. This I found interesting because this was 7 years ago. And when I interviewed Harry Oakes, he said that Kane denied letting him search his yard. And if you guys know who Harry Oakes is, one of the best SAR dogs, trainers, whatever, searchers ever. He, out of 17,000 cases, he was only wrong 5 times. So this is 7 years ago. Somebody said Kane should allow a search with cadaver dogs on his property, and Desiree should be there when it happens so she can have a peace of mind. Ellie should release more evidence against Terry, including the hate-filled emails and the lies she was caught in. Ellie should name her a person of suspect. Dee Dee should be questioned again. The emails, which Kane can't even remember. He remembered in 2010, but then in 2013, he doesn't remember. Somebody else says, I wonder why Ellie has never searched the Horman property with cadaver dogs. That is beyond nuts. That should have been done in 2010, not following the cheating part. If they searched the property, how would that bring out about cheating? I don't know what the hell this woman's talking about. Desiree also denied Harry's free help. He was taking the time out of his, money out of his pocket. Everything was going to be free. People go on to say, I think Terry needs a good old-fashioned waterboarding. You'd find out right quick that way. Unfortunately, criminals get coddled here in the States. I agree with Deborah's first post below. First off, somehow a warrant to do a good search of Kane's property. Some tip or clue has to be hidden there. I still don't understand why he would not want this done. His son has been missing, and something could be found that would help. And then police just start bugging Terry every time she turns around. Daily, if need be. Maybe she'll crack. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Sorry. Wait, what? No, I'm not. When I sent these, I was just like, I want to get to the port. So in 2016, hey, Terry, law enforcement, I am sure, are waiting patiently for you to head on down and get this big old mess taken care of. Big old mess. Like, this is not a horrible, heartbreaking situation that has happened here. The way she just talks. They are ready to accommodate your special needs of being deaf in one ear. They are standing by with someone and know sign language in Spanish. Oh, and a lip reader just for you, Terry. So what are you waiting for? Get your ass down there and get your name cleared. We are waiting. Please do not make us wait another 5+ years, but we will if we have to. Let me make this clear. Nobody has been cleared except James. Deaf, huh, Terry? You sure didn't need any help hearing at the name change hearing or any of the other court proceedings you had. You are so full of shit. Shame on People Magazine for paying you to spew the bullshit. And we have a link that people wrote. People didn't pay Terry anything for that interview. See, we have all this stuff that just debunks all of their shit. It's ridiculous. Oops, sorry, hold on. I can't. The investigators wouldn't release the files for the civil suit. What would make James think he can ask for the investigation files, and will they hand him over to him? He does have a Discord, and he has a lot of documents in there, and we do go through them. If anyone wants a link to the Discord, let me know. She also said, I keep telling him to go in, but he would rather speak to people on Facebook and try and clean up his mom's mess. If he was really here for Kyron, he would just go to speak to investigators. So his actions are telling. But why? He was 16 at the time, and he was 4 hours away on a Boy Scout trip. So why? But he went anyways. So these are some, I want you guys to just listen. Thank you, Desiree, for taking the time to answer some of Kyron's supporters' questions. You can find Desiree's comments in my last post. I couldn't get them all. Somebody said, why was Terry not arrested after trying to hire someone to kill Kane? Desiree said, it has to do with a strategy by law enforcement. It makes Kyron's case stronger when they prosecute. Are there searches planned for this year in different areas? Yes, we have had several searches in the past few months. We also have planned prior to June. Really hopeful we will find something and be able to arrest her. This is so good news. I pray that there will be some answers soon and arrest her for what she did. There is no doubt in my mind who is responsible. I will continue to pray for you and your family and that Kyron is found. Just listen. Is an arrest imminent? Or if not, why not? Why wasn't she arrested for hiring a hitman to take Kane out? Why wasn't she arrested for stealing a handgun when she wasn't allowed to be in possession of any firearms? Desiree says, yes, we're just waiting to find Kyron. Then the arrest will come. That's why we need to keep looking, keep talking, and keep sharing his story. What comes to your guys' mind? We're just waiting to find Kyron. Then the arrest will come. That's why we need to keep looking, keep talking, keep sharing his story. What pops in my mind is when that's why we need to keep looking. Let me know if you guys are kind of getting what I'm getting. What do you think about that? The jury mistakenly thought she was borrowing the gun. She took it out of this guy's safe and left with it. Oh, brother, darn frustrating if you ask me. The question is, what were her plans at the time when she stole the gun? That bothers me. T is a very disturbed human being. I don't know where it went, you guys. I couldn't get it all. Somebody said, and didn't I read that someone saw her leaving school with Kyron? She says, yes, absolutely. She left the school with Kyron, following her towards the direction of the truck. Stacy in 2016, again with the death thing, which we showed, I just saw the video clip of you talking about sexting with MC just 26 days after Kyron went missing. You said you did it to get revenge at Kane. What the hell? What normal stepmother? And I say step because you are not and never will be Kyron's mom. Would give a damn what else was going on in their life if their child was missing. A real mother wouldn't give a shit about anything else in their life. But then again, how many weeks later did Desiree get, remarried? Stacy says in 2016, I am very confused here. How is asking Kane questions considered bashing him? Yes, he has a missing son, but he still has to answer for the crap that he has done and hasn't done. If you consider that bashing, I don't know what to tell you. This page is here for Kyron. Always has been. I will ask whoever I wish questions. Whether we get answers, well, that's up to Kane. Or whoever I am asking. Never once have I said I believe Kane has anything to do with Kyron going missing. I have stated I do not feel like Kane has answered all the questions, has been completely honest. So why is it okay for Kane to be questioned? And, we haven't said Desiree had anything to do with it. So it's a problem when we have questions and we think that Desiree needs to answer to these. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. Let me look. Um, I think she was on Lars at the time. I've been wondering if it's worth um, about the recent harassment to see if he'd report on it. Maybe it could be a good idea by asking people who've given talk tips to talk to her. Yeah, I don't. Hey, Christina, thank you for coming. I don't get that. Why are you asking people that have spoke to Ellie? Why are you asking them to reach out to you? Why? Um, they keep looking for a setup. I'm sorry, I have 3 kids in the background. Yeah, it's like she's looking for something, but why would you? The first thing out of my mouth, we're all different, but it would be not to make an arrest, it would be to find my son alive. Um, I think it's very weird that in the book, I haven't read it, but this is what somebody have showed me. It says that Terry did this and um, like made him OD off of Tylenol or something, and she did this, right? And now all of a sudden it was Dee Dee. It's just everything changes. And try to take a call. All right, Christina, I hope you're doing good. That's just not something that I would say. I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, we need to find him so we can make an arrest. Like that's why we need to be searching. No, we need to be searching so we can find my son alive and bring him home. Um, and the whole cane thing. This is my page and I will do as I want with it, just as I always have. Well, I say the same thing. And what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. Everybody should be looked at. And hold on. Okay, sorry you guys. My computer just shut down. I don't want to reboot it because it's like it said something. So, um, yes, totally on track with you. He needs to be with their tunnel vision. Just wants an answer from who. Yeah, and I don't get it. I'll never get it. 12 years. There's so much more, you guys, that we have to go over. But I am gonna do a part two. My son wants to play. His birthday was this past weekend. He got a bunch of old ultimate surprise. I don't know what they are, but like Transformer things. So we're gonna go play some Transformers. Um, my aunt lives right next to me, so she was like, "I'll watch him." Their dad's at work. She's like, "I'll watch him while you do your video." Um, so I am gonna get off of here. We will do a part 2 tomorrow. Garnett is off. Let us know, you guys, what you know. Who do we want to start off with? Like, do we want to start off with David Stenson? Um, and if anyone wants to help, like, put in information with us, we can kind of do like a case study on each person. Christina, yay, right? Transformers! We were playing all day yesterday, Transformers. I'm like, why? But I can't help it. He's so cute. Yeah, let us know. If you guys want to help, please message us. We will do one person a week. We'll start off with David Stenson. I think that's a good idea. Samantha, I am too. I'm glad that, a couple people showed up, and I'm really glad. You guys, the focus is Kyron for us, obviously. But the thing is, and people will say it's not, that it's Stacy, but for 12 years, as you see, and I didn't even show you half of it. There is so much disgusting shit in there. Nothing is it like, hey, Kyron's alive and we can go find him. Let's so much more I want to say, but I'm gonna wait for Garnett to be on tomorrow. We all need to be here for Kyron, and when we set up events to do, we need as many people as possible to take part in that. We have Miles for Kyron coming up, where like I talked to James and I was like, what about a PI? This was a long time ago. Like then Stacy all of a sudden brought up the PI and the car washes. Then they said they had a PI, and then they said they need more money for a PI, which they already had. So much stuff, you guys. I'm open to looking more into the author of the book and how it affects the case. Is what I have been personally. Girl, yes, and she's on our page too. I have tagged her multiple times, asking her why she would write a book or how she felt on writing a book that didn't help Kyron's case at all. And she responded with, you guys will have to see. Then she wanted me to buy her book. I'm like, I'm not buying that shit. I mean, and it's very telling when even Ellie asked Stacy not to put the book out there because it will ruin the investigation. And she still did it anyway. So that's, girl, I will help you. That's interesting that you're looking into that. That is a lie saying they saw Terry leave with Kyron. Didn't the kids say that he saw Kyron and yeah, 2 kids. There is 8 witnesses at the school that day that are like subpoenaed, what I read. And then there's like 4 more outside of the school. So if this is even brought, and you guys have to realize 5 different times these grand jury jurors hadn't made any, like, put any charges. There's nothing. This new evidence is BS. I don't get what their game is. And I feel like if their group was taken down, I feel like the case would move in a better direction. The DA, they attack him. They attack the new LE, which he's amazing. They're doing what they have to do. They're doing their job. I tried looking for those comments last night, but she did answer some of those questions in her interview. I linked. I'll definitely watch that right now. I definitely want to watch that because she admits it. I mean, it's true. It's only, and Desiree, I say the same thing about Kane. I haven't really spoken about Kane. James has a lot of respect for Kane. He looks up to him as a father figure. He helped raise James. Um, Now the only thing I've written is, about the interview. Um, but everybody needs to be looked into, and I don't want to sound heartless, or I do feel that. I do. But some of the stuff that was done and said by DY, it just, I couldn't see myself as a mother doing or saying after my child went missing. So I definitely, like, want to look into that too, the author. But you guys, something has to be done. Something has to make a change. Nothing's going to happen if we have these people, 50,000 people. You could really make a difference with 50,000 people. On her reactions, she barely gets any. I think if she would stop with the same old thing every single day, posting her parents' house, posting her going into a store, like, I think that if she actually got people to do something, a difference could be made, but it's not going to happen. She's been doing this for 12 years. I didn't even get through all of the other comments I wanted you guys to see, because a lot of it was, thank you so much for your support, for me and Desiree. Like, thank you for your support for you and Desiree. Don't you mean thank you for your support for Kyron? You guys, there's so much, so much. It blows my mind. It really breaks my heart. And having these trolls come in from that group just thinking it's a game, it's not. It's really not. I wouldn't put up with so much shit that we fucking do if I really did not care and I really want to make a difference in Kyron's case. I have kids of my own. You know, if I did not care and felt like we could really make a difference, I would not be here. You can get in touch to discuss it too if you want. Yes, I definitely will. Thank you. I'm gonna go accept it right now. I'm gonna get off of here, guys. I really appreciate everyone being here. We'll do a part 2 tomorrow. We'll also start on, David Stenson thing. I won't forget, even if the book was repeat. Yeah, I'm not. I can't. I won't buy that. Mm-mm. I don't want to listen to it. And it's sad that people look at that and just take everything and run. If they would look at our group and see everything, like, and just use your brains, it's not hard to put 2 and 2 together. And that link will definitely make it, But anyways, I really appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you for supporting Kyron with us. Let's share our group. We do give giveaways. When our group hits a certain amount of people, last time it was 1,500 and we sent a virtual gift card. This time it's going to be 3,200 and we are sending another gift card to 2 or 3 different people this time. So please keep sharing when it gets close. When it gets to 3,100, I'm going to write a thread saying, comment under here, #bring Kyron home, and share the thread. And whoever does that, you're going to get put in the raffle. So that's just something that we do to show appreciation and get more people. We need to find people that are motivated, that actually want to take action and do things. If your opinion is it's Terry and Dee Dee, it still does not mean that Kyron is dead and is no longer with us. We need to be looking, and we don't want to change your mind. If you don't want to look at everything we have, that's fine. And we can agree to disagree. We can have a healthy debate, but that's not what people want. The FBI is involved. Like, well, I gotta confirm that. I'm gonna make sure before I even say, because that's what Stacy said. And you can't believe anything Stacy says. I will email Ellie and I'll ask. Um, and then I can ask James as well. But yeah, we were actually gonna do that a couple months ago. But oh, and another thing, the FBI flyer, the one that Terry posted, and Stacy knew it was wrong the whole time, right? This is the one that goes nationwide. This is the one that goes into other countries. Stacy knew it was wrong this whole time and didn't try to make a change. Right when we found out that it was wrong, we were calling me, Arctic Fox, Garnett, we were calling the FBI. All of us talked to the FBI. We talked to MCSO. We were like, hey, you need to change this. Like, I wonder how many people have called trying to turn a tip in and this number is disconnected. It's not about Kyron, you guys, for them. We have amazing hearts. We are very passionate. I've never had a case like that was as close to me as Gabriel Fernandez and Anthony Avelos' case. And Kyron is right there with them. We want to make a difference. We want everything to be right. No matter who it is. We don't know who it is, but everybody needs to be looked at. So that petition, people on the sidelines, yeah, we're to be active doing a protest with Ellie. Yeah. Something. They're involved to a certain degree, not sure what, but do not have official jurisdiction. Yeah, isn't because MCO didn't want their help. Like there's something, I don't know, there's something weird with it. They even had a profile, you guys. The FBI had a profile of a male 45 to 50 or 55 years old, and MCO did not like it and they no longer wanted their help. But what I've heard from Stacy, which I don't believe anything out of her mouth, is that they are. So I'll have to figure all that out. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Please, please. And we used to do also before I leave. I keep forgetting. We used to do prayers for Kyron every Sunday. If you guys want to join us, I think that we should get back to that. We put a Zoom link where everybody can click, and you don't have to show yourself on camera. You can just be on recording, but some of us will say a prayer. If you want to say a prayer, you can. I believe in the power of prayer. And at first it was good. Like we got a good amount of people in there, but people would stop coming. So that's another thing we can do. You know, it doesn't hurt. It does not hurt. And that would be every Sunday, you know, like around 4, 5, 6 Oregon time. And if we need to change it, like we can. But let us know if you guys have any ideas. Like we're willing to do anything. But yeah, I love you guys. Please, 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 please don't forget to print out his flyers. Hang them everywhere, no matter what country you're in, no matter what state. Ellie is looking overseas. I feel if we all do something, something big will happen. I believe Kyron is still out there, in my opinion. So, yeah, I love you all. I will see you later. I gotta get my son over here so we can play Transformers. Like he's probably like ready to come home. He is stuck to me like glue, you guys, like glue. So yeah, join us tomorrow. I'm gonna make a thumbnail as well later on so I can pre-plan and everybody can see ahead of time what time it is gonna be tomorrow. Hopefully, you know, you guys can join us again. But yeah, see you guys later. Oh, Amelia, I am praying for you, Val. I'm praying for you. I hope everything's okay. Amelia, I think you left. I don't know where you went, but I'm still praying for you about the whole water thing and everything that's going on.